Further amendments to the committee print.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk. It's designated Shattuck number 42.
Clerk will report the amendment, and as I understand it, the gentlelady from Colorado is reserving a point of order if she were here.
We don't have the...
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order. I would like to reserve a point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Point of order has been reserved by the gentleman from Massachusetts, Mr. Markey.
Mr. Chairman, I'd ask unanimous consent that be considered as read.
Well, we haven't seen the amendment, so we're going to have it read so while we're looking at it.
Amendment to the committee print offered by Mr. Shattuck of Arizona. In Section 5003, in the proposed Section 1705B1, insert, including hydropower, after renewable energy systems.
Mr. Chairman, that's the wrong version of the amendment. I believe there was an amended version of that amendment that was filed.
Yeah, no, but
Mr. Chairman, we
we'll
don't
work on
have
it
that
because we
amendment at the
didn't.
desk. Mr. Shattuck says this is not the correct amendment, but we don't have the other one here. Yeah. We now have an amendment.
Clerk will report and read the amendment.
In Section 5003, in the proposed Section 1705B1, insert, including incremental hydropower after renewable energy systems.
Gentleman to recognize to explain his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I hope not to take the full 5 minutes and to be as brief as I can. This follows on the discussion we had earlier. I had this amendment prepared earlier to simply say including hydropower. In light of the discussion, I think the committee is fully aware that the term renewable energy systems as used in the committee print is not defined and there is some ambiguity as to whether or not hydropower is included. As the chairman himself indicated earlier, there's logic to suggest that hydropower is both a renewable source of energy and also emissions-free. And yet, as the chairman also indicated, there is some concern on the behalf of the staff that perhaps hydropower was not included. This is a simple and straightforward amendment to specifically include hydropower. On the merits of the amendment, I would note that we're talking about a section of the law that talks about the rapid deployment of renewable energy. I think the chairman has already quite articulately explained that hydropower is, in fact, at least by logic, renewable, and it is emissions-free. The issue was raised, however, by the gentleman from Massachusetts about its rapid deployment. But I would point out that in its new form, low-head hydro, which can be inserted in canals or can be inserted in pipelines, as Mr. Walden pointed out in his testimony, where the construction of a dam is not necessary. It, in fact, can be very, very rapidly deployed to generate electricity with virtually no environmental impact whatsoever. In addition, in prior years, I have worked on legislation to encourage the replacement of older, inefficient turbines in hydro facilities which already have old turbines but could generate more electricity with newer turbines. And so all we'll be doing is gaining efficiency without any additional damage in terms of environment, because you'll be pulling out an older, inefficient turbine, putting in a newer, more efficient turbine. So there are at least two major categories of hydropower which can be done very rapidly and with virtually no environmental impact. And so it seemed to me that it would be beneficial to add those. Obviously, both can create jobs, both the installation of hydropower in an in-stream situation like a pipeline like Mr. Walden was discussing, or a canal like we have in Arizona, or the removal of an existing turbine from an existing dam and its replacement with a more efficient dam. Both of those will create jobs, and that is, after all, what I understand the major purpose of this legislation to be. And with that, I'll yield back.
Will the gentleman yield to me?
Certainly.
Yes, thank you. We're prepared to accept this amendment with the understanding that if the wording is not exactly correct, that you'll work with us to make sure it is
happily
accomplishing the goal. but we have no problem with the amendment.
Would the gentleman yield?
Certainly.
Yeah, and pursuant to the earlier conversation that I had with Mr. Waldron in terms of, working with this under the DOE issued solicitation announcement back in August 8th of 2006, they include hydrokinetic energy devices, which is essentially incremental hydro. So it's included as the DOE has been interpreting it, and it's a welcomed amendment, and we thank the gentleman for making it.
Happy to take yes for an answer.
Any further discussion? If not, we'll proceed to a vote on the Shattuck amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the amendment's agreed to.